Joking. Okay, so what are the two key ideas here for solving equations? Seven? Seven is the key idea? Okay, sure, Dawson. Number one is you want to do the opposite. So whatever operation you see, you have to do the opposite to undo it. And then you have to keep it equal. Whatever you do on the right side, you must do on the left. I'm going to show a lot of math for the first 4 questions. Please do that too to help you review the ideas. Then start showing a little less. Okay. So number one, what operation do we want to undo? Good. Subtracting 5. So what do we have to do? Good. Both sides to keep it equal. Left side cancels. We're left with x equals. Your equal sign should flow straight down. Okay, try and do that as much as possible. It makes it so much easier. Negative 12 plus 5, negative 7. Okay, good. Number 2, we have x, what, 3? What does that line mean? Divide. So what's the opposite of dividing by 3? Oh, you guys are geniuses. Times by 3. Those cancel. We're left with x equals negative 21.
Good buddy.
All right. And if you keep, now, number 3, what do we have? Yeah, X is in the basement. It's cold, dark, spiders. Ooh, get out. How do you get X out of the basement? Good. Right now it's divide, so you have to times by X. If you remember that, oh, so easy. 3 equals 4 times X, or 4X. Okay, so when they're side by side, that is a multiplication. We just can't do it because we don't know X's value. Now what? Yeah, divide by 4. So 3 divided by 4. So technically, now I'm showing less work. I should divide both sides by 4 and cancel and all that. Okay. Okay, number 4, show all your work. Go.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Show all your work.
Oh, no, not that. Question 3.
12x equals 36, first step. Divide both sides by 12 is the second step. X equals 3. There you go. Okay, the only difference now with 5 and the other questions is what do we have on both sides of the equal sign? X. So we have an X term on the right, X term on the left. What do we want to try and move? Which one usually makes it easiest? Yeah, usually you want to move the smaller, but it's not a requirement. It just sometimes makes it easier. So I would move the 5x over. What sign is in between 5 and the equal sign? Are you sure? Yes, you should be. Look in front. Don't look at the behind. It will stink. All right, look in front. Oh, I'm recording that. Whoops. I mean, yeah, just move it over. New principal, don't want to get fired quite yet. Now, this works out to be 7, correct? Is that right? This should be 7? Because if I said that was 7, that means this just kind of went off to Never Never Land, floated away with Peter Pan. That doesn't happen. Things don't float away in math. No floaters. This is just minus 7. I'll tell you later. I'm recording. I can't comment on that. Seriously.
I didn't know. So sorry.
Okay. It's not Mr. Como, unfortunately. So, okay, next, going on. Yeah, I know you won't anyways. Plus 5. How do we move it? Oh, you know what? You guys get to work. Go.
I already did it. Yeah,
You're smart.
Oh, I'm not.
2x equals negative 12. X equals negative 6. Good. Okay, now what's different with 6, Smarty Pants? Kezia? Oh, 6x plus 2, is that right? No, what did I forget to do?
Bam.
Yeah, distribution property, multiplying by both. Go.
Oh, what Dark. What's happening with dark?
So. Now, don't worry about a fraction like that. Okay, just leave it as a fraction. Sometimes they're not perfectly cooked up. I mean, I'm good, but just not great. So that's okay. Typically, though, it usually works out perfectly, kind of like me. One thing to keep in mind, though, if you wanted to go to a improper mixed fraction, what is that going to be? 3? Okay, I won't put both of them on the test for multiple choice. That's not fair. It'd either be one or the other. Okay, so keep that in mind. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Maybe 4 1/2. You could. I mean, you typically we wouldn't, but if we do, just what? Yeah, totally. I should. Oh, good point, Olivia. I should put that in lowest terms. 9/2. Thank you. No. If I don't start with decimals, I most likely won't end with decimals. That's an easy thing to do on your calculator, but you should never do it when you're doing real math. Okay? Because you want to practice not doing it, because on a test it's easy to do. Just boop 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 on your calculator. I would never test that skill. The only time I test it is like 3 pi. I'll make lots of answers with pi, and lots of those, and then a couple of them I'll make you go to your decimal. That's the only time I test it. Yes?
Wait, but for 7, the answer is decimal.
For 7?
Yeah.
There's no decimal, so why would you give me a decimal?
You end up with
No, you end up with a fraction. Where's the decimal? What decimal?
There's no decimal. What are you guys talking about?
No, you don't. You end up with a fraction. What I'm saying is, don't go to a decimal. You don't need to. We rarely do that. Okay, next question. Full meal deal. This is as hard as it's going to get for you, except for number 8. Go. Multiply in first.
Oopsies. What's 15 minus 6? Frick. No. 9.
Is that right, 9/8?
That's what I got.
Good. Okay, one thing to keep in mind, I always see, anytime I see someone get it wrong, this is where I see them get it wrong. They try and move this and this at the same time. And it's easy to make a mistake then. Don't move 2 things at once. Take it slow, right? This is take it slow, get it right. Move one thing at a time. Kizia.
Wouldn't it be like minus 50?
Minus what? Nope. Negative times a negative.
Okay.
Yeah, watch out for your negative signs. We're definitely going to check that to make sure you're watching out for that, okay? Okay. Any other questions with that one?
No, let's do 8.
Number 8. 5 and 2 are your denominators. What should you multiply by? 10. Get rid of your fraction. Multiply everything by 10. Now, just look up here for a second. Sometimes I show it like this. Or, right, have a look. Sometimes I show it like that. But generally, sometimes I also show it like this. You choose how you want to show it, okay?
We cancel at the bottom?
That's right. So we go 10 divided by 5 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is negative 5 because of your negative sign. Okay? So we get 2x minus 5 on the left. So you want to divide. Okay. You okay, Sarah, with this? And on the right side, 10 divided by 5 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we get 4 minus 5x. Sorry? How do I get the... This here's a subtraction sign. Yep. Oh, sorry. I just didn't write it. I kept looking at it right there, though. Yep. Yeah, negative. Oh, you're right, too. Thank you. So I issued negative 15. Thanks, Paige. You're the best, Paige. Haha.
Thanks, I know.
Yes. No, absolutely not, because you have a subtraction. You could use that trick here. That's a cheap trick that only works with one specific type of question. Will not work, and for a whole bunch of others, it won't work. Okay, so it's better to learn to multiply everything here by a column multiple of 18. Okay,
Bam.
sorry, 6. Okay,
That's for something.
x is 11 over 7. Nope, 19.
Yeah,
19 over 7. Hands up if you got that.
I got it.
Oh, good. You know I do that just to see if I got it right? Okay, so timesing by 6. Now, what's the problem here with these things? What's up top? Yes, you got a little polynomial. You got to put in brackets first, okay? Then you can times it by 18. Not 18. I kept saying 18. Times it by 6. Okay. Okay, you go ahead and do the work. X equals negative 7. Hands up, you got that? How'd you get that? Oh, because I didn't multiply. You guys, how can you never say anything? You're so mean to me. Good, negative 12. Awesome. Okay, last one. What are you going to multiply by to get rid of your fractions? Oh, you guys are so smart. Go ahead, do this one. I'm not going to show you anything. Go. No, you're smart. $19 over 10. Good. One thing you want to watch out for, and I'll tell you right now, it's a hard part, is if you have a question like 3x minus x plus 2 over 4 equals 7. So we got to get rid of our fraction. Should we just multiply this thing by 4? No, everything. So this gets times by 4, this gets times by 4, this gets times by 4. Now I cheated. Notice here, when you cancel, you should write negative 1 and multiplying by negative 1. We haven't quite seen that too many times yet. You got to be careful for that. Okay, that's the little trick. Watch out for your negative signs. Okay. All right, turn the page over. Inequalities. So for inequalities, please write this down. This is the key information. So less than, greater than. Okay. For those ones, we use an open circle when we graph it on the number line. If we have the equal to part down below, then we have to use a closed circle or a closed dot when we graph it on a number line. So I want you to write that down because that's super duper important. And then please answer questions 1 and 2. Go. Okay. So which inequality is graph for number 1? A, B, B. This is 3. These values would include 2 and 1, and those are all less than 3. Oops. 2, 1. So it's going to be x is less than or equal to 3, B. Okay. The next one, we put 4 in the middle. Now what we do is we like to have a higher number on the right, a lower number on the left, just to give us direction. Okay? A lot of you guys sometimes get confused by that. C is your answer. So x is greater than 4, but not equal to it. Good. Okay. What's our only rule for these? Flip the direction if what? No, yeah, but what you got to be careful is when you divide or multiply by a negative. So when you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to flip or change your sign direction. Okay? And for you guys, it's almost always going to be divide. Okay? Multiplying is more grade 10. But it's only going to happen at the last step. Last step. That's when it's going to occur. Okay? So don't think of subtracting means you got to flip. Okay, so please solve 3 and graph it. Do you want to do the first one together? Okay. If you want, you can multiply, but you don't have to. Right? We can go x divided by 2. How do we move forward to the other side? Good. So we get 14. So instead of divide by 2, what do? Times by 2. 28. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, graph that now. Okay, so 28 goes in the middle. One higher is 29. One lower is 27. We're talking closed circle and shading to the right. Left. So if x is first, then the arrow points in the direction. Okay, the sign points the direction to shade, but only if x is written first. All right. Okay, solve the next one. And I want you to solve the next one, and you must move 2x over, please. Go. Okay. So your signs have to change direction. -1 is in the middle. What's one higher?
0.
One lower? 0. -2, I was just messing with you. Open circle, shade to the right.
Oh, what? What? Oh. What? No, you don't have to do it. Oh, it's a negative. Got it. Oh, I forgot to switch signs.
Yep. All the ones to the right are greater than it. The ones to the left are much smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay. Now, eyes up here, have a look. If I moved everything over to the right side, I would have got -7 is less than 7x. And so x, I wouldn't have to change my sign. You have to be able to go back and forth. What is the sign eating on the right side over here? It's eating an x. Over here, it's eating an x. You have to be able to flip back and forth. Okay, you need to know that you can do that. Any questions?
No.